Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays. Now, I was going down through my replays folder looking for a theme, and I saw a game in a 110, and then I saw a game in a WZ-111, and I thought, you know what? Let's do Chinese heavies. I can cover the Tier 8 Chinese heavy, the 110, and then cover the Tier 9 Chinese heavy, the WZ-111. Now, picked those two replays and discovered they were both sent in by the same guy. NusPojava is back again. He sent in both replays, so I guess we're going to have two replays today in Tier 8 and 9 Chinese heavies, both by NusPojava. But they're both really good games, and it doesn't matter how often you feature on the channel. If it's a good game, I'll probably put it up at some stage. So we are kicking off with the 110, the Tier 8 Chinese heavy tank, and it's a tank I own but haven't yet played because I'm waiting for free XP to unlock some of the modules on it. But basically, I enjoy the IS-3, and from what I know of the 110, it is very similar to the IS-3. Probably the beak is a little bit more pronounced, and the lower glacis is probably a little bit more exposed. But basically, the difference between the two tanks is that the 110 gets a 100mm gun as opposed to 122mm, which makes its rate of fire slightly quicker, but its alpha damage slightly less. But both tanks seem to play pretty much the same way, so we are just going to go. It is a 49% on Mountain Pass. Pretty close game, and NusPojava is a Tier 8 in a Tier 9 game, but there are only 3 Tier 9s on the enemy team. So it even looks quite a lot like the IS-3, although as I say, the beak on the front is a little bit more pronounced. So it's been a couple of weeks since I watched this replay, and we are just going to go in as per usual. Live, so if I make a couple of mistakes along the way, I do apologize. So he advanced across the gap. He ended up getting spotted, but he was quick enough to get across before any enemy tanks could put fire in. And at the moment, he is the only tank over here. He is in a platoon with Ivan BGD and Novkovsky, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, all in Tier 8 tanks. But he poked the ridge, he got spotted, falls back, gets a nice shot into that KV-3, who's one of the better players on the enemy team. KV-3 being really aggressive, along with an AMX AC-48 who advanced across the bridge. He's getting spotted, and STA-1 managed to sneak into an advanced position without being spotted before then. So he's taken his first damage, takes a hit from the STA-1, but did return the favor. And gets another shot in without the STA-1 returning fire. An IS-8 has advanced up behind him, so he knows that his rear is safe. He's able to focus on this STA-1, gets a lovely shot in and tracks the STA-1, who does use a repair kit. A little bit wary about getting shot from the 7-8 lines, and does fall back just as a WZ-111 bounces. So he realizes he's safe. His platoon mate in the T-34 has taken a lot of damage, but the STA-1 is a one-hit kill, so NusPojava decides to ignore him and decide to support. He advances to support the IS-8. So the enemy team have invested a lot of tanks, a lot of enemy tanks in the middle, a lot of enemy tanks have gone down the other flank. And NusPojava's turning around. He's hoping his friendly IS-8 can deal with the enemy IS-8, because he realizes there are a lot of enemy tanks about to roll down the 9-0 lines, and there is only one solitary STA-1 to defend cap. So some nice map awareness. I really do enjoy replays when you guys show map awareness, because of all the things in World of Tanks, lack of map awareness is one of the things that annoys me the most. So rather than advancing or continuing to advance like his friendly IS-8 is, NusPojava's moving back into a position where he can get close to cap. Meanwhile, the tanks that advanced across the middle, the KV-3, the AMX, and there's now a Tiger P there, they're all still sitting here, but his friendlies have all taken a lot of damage. All the tanks that were opposing them, they're all on half health or lower. And NusPojava is trying to get through. He's trying to get through. Super Pershing dies. He needs these friendly tanks to fall back. They're all on low health, but they're still advancing. NusPojava's on almost full health. He's definitely got the best armor, but these guys are still advancing. They're still taking damage, and the enemy team have now advanced into NusPojava's spawn. This is an E-75 trying to hold out alone against 3-4 enemy tanks. And NusPojava still trying to get through. These tier 7s just will not let him through. So they're advancing. He bounces on the side of the Tiger P. Did have a shot at his weak spot, but unfortunately the Tiger P straightened up just as NusPojava fires. And again, a shot goes slightly wide, misses the kill shot on the Tiger P. Tiger 1 takes out the Tiger P. NusPojava advances, bounces on the side of the turret cheek on the KV-3. Friendlies have gone back to defend, so NusPojava can work on these tanks. Takes out an AMX M445. Moving in on this KV-3. And only manages to track him for no damage, and now an enemy Jagdpanther has shown up. Thankfully his team are managing to stop the cap. So KV-3 and NusPojava exchange fire. They both do equally the same damage to each other. NusPojava is able to advance, take out the Jagdpanther. He's now closing in on this KV-3. KV-3 bounces. And NusPojava advances, puts a shot into the lower glacis to take him out for kill number 3. And he's up to 2k damage. In the meantime, an enemy Jagdpanther 2 and a Borsig have advanced through the middle. Tiger goes down. And NusPojava, you can see that the gun has lower alpha damage. He only rolled for 276 damage on the lower glacis of the Jagdpanther. Borsig's ignoring him, goes for a snapshot before being fully aimed, misses the Borsig unfortunately. And now this Jagdpanther 2 is hull down. Jagdpanther 2, always a difficult proposition when it goes hull down, but thankfully it gets taken out by a friendly IS-6. So that means that NusPojava can now move in on this Borsig. The enemy team are actually winning. The score is 11-13. And now NusPojava is alone. Takes a shot on the Borsig, does some ram damage, but it is 4 versus 1. Thankfully, we can see that the Centurion and the WZ-111 are on low health. So NusPojava is able to take out the Borsig. And now it is 1v2, using the wreck of the Borsig for cover. Sees that the Centurion is going to try and flank him. Decides to advance on the WZ-111, takes him out. Takes a hit in return, but takes him out for kill number 5. And he's advancing, he's got health, he's got hit points. The Centurion is a one-hit kill. Unfortunately, somehow manages to bounce on a badly angled Centurion. I would have thought that was a penning shot, but somehow manages to bounce. But the reload on this tank is only 8.4 seconds, so you can see the reload is quite a lot faster than it is on the IS-3. Two tanks are just circling these rocks, but the Centurion is not the quickest of medium tanks, especially when it's reversing. NusPojava takes him out for kill number 6. That is his top gun, just one enemy tank left. And wow! RT shotguns him in the face, takes out his gunner, leaves him on 26 health, also takes out his tracks. NusPojava goes for one shot in, leaves the Batshot RT on 271 health. Thankfully it's the regular tier 9 RT and not an autoloader, but NusPojava is able to take him out for kill number 7. But extremely lucky at the end that the RT didn't shotgun him to death. Left him on very, very low health, but NusPojava was able to pull it back, kill the RT and secure the game. It was an ace tanker and also a top gun for NusPojava in a really, really nice 110 game, I must say. 1477 XP earned, 3,734 damage and 7 kills. Really, really nice game. 22 shots fired, 19 hits, 16 penetrations. So NusPojava was firing a lot of shots at close range. He was brawling as much as possible, and that seems to be what the 110's strong point is. Nice amount of damage. He received 10 hits and bounced 6, so the armor on the 110 seems pretty good. He blocked over 2,000 damage. Spotted 2, damaged 9, destroyed 7, did 524 assistance damage, and earned 21,000 credits. 2,215 XP with a special thrown in, left him on 2,768 XP. Really, really nice game in a tank I haven't yet played, but it looks as if I'm going to look forward to it. Moving up a tier from the 110, we are in the WZ-111, the tier 9 Chinese heavy tank, and like I said before, it's another game from NusPojava. I didn't realize they were both his until I started recording, but it's the theme of today's video. But we are going to go. It's a game on steps. It's a 61%er. And this looks like another very, very good tank. Again, I don't have it. As I say, I've got the 110, but haven't started playing it yet, so I'm nowhere near the WZ-111, but from the replay, it looks like this is going to be a very good game. So NusPojava is top tier. It's a tier 9 game, 5 tier 9s on either side. And he's going to be quite aggressive. He's not hanging back. He's top tier heavy, so he's going to move forward. And it looks like most of his team are going to be advancing down the 9-0 lines. Only a Leva and a Panther have gone to hold the other flank. All the other tanks are moving down the 9-0 lines, and they are being extremely aggressive. Wow, they've moved all the way up before the first enemy tanks have been spotted. Usually enemy tanks are sitting on this corner. And look at that alpha damage. NusPojava puts a big shot into the side of the Super Pershing for 482 damage. Good start to the game. Again, lovely shot into the T-32. Super Pershing goes down. Let's look at this gun for a brief moment. Nice penetration, 244, 490 alpha damage. And NusPojava finishes off the T-32. Only 46 hit points, but a kill's a kill. And he's continuing to advance. So in the meantime, the enemy team have taken out the Leva that had gone over to the other flank. There's just a Panther left over there now. So NusPojava is moving in on this T-95. He knows his weak spots. He's going for the commander's cupola. And the shot goes high. So unfortunately, the gun doesn't look all that accurate. It looks punchy, nice penetration, nice alpha damage, but not that accurate. Aiming fully, and yeah, unfortunately just clips the top of the tank. Fails to pen. 11.8 second reload, almost 12 seconds. Bounces the T-95, and again that shot goes to the left. So those were all really, really well aimed shots. The shots just were not going where NusPojava was aiming. And once again, like the previous replay, NusPojava is keeping an eye on that minimap. He realizes that they've lost the other flank. There are enemy tanks moving in on cap, so he ignores the tanks that were behind him. Tank seems maybe not the fastest, but it doesn't seem slow. He's doing 50 kilometers an hour along here. Rushing to get back to cap. For some reason, one of the enemy tanks that was capping has now left cap. That's giving NusPojava a little bit more time to get back. So just a tier 8 and a tier 7 TD back defending. And now NusPojava is back. Pre-aims that shot really well on the 1375. Looking for shots in cap. Shot on the side. decides to go for the WZ-111 and advances. He's going hull down. It might be dangerous. The enemy still have a few dangerous TDs left on the other side of the map, but they seem to be focused on his friendlies. So he advances. He is hull down. Gets a nice shot into that ST1. Resets the cap. Going back to work on the 111. Going to try and reset the cap again. Don't know whether the ST1 is intentionally trying to block shots. But wow, nice high roll. 538 damage done on the cupola on the ST1. Someone else resets cap. NusPojava is going for another shot on the tier 9 heavy. He's focusing down the most dangerous tanks on the enemy team. He could have had shots of that KV3. Does decide to aim. KV3 decides to sit in the open instead of continuing to advance. And NusPojava makes him pay, but he's just been flanked by a 1375. And he's having trouble. 1375 was having trouble penning him. He was having trouble getting his gun around. Finally manages it. Takes out the AMX for kill number 2. He's up to 4k damage. In the meantime, the WZ-111 is giving the side. He's nearly reloaded. WZ misses. Someone else takes him out. KV3 advances to the top of the rails again, and a lovely, lovely shot tracking him in place. If someone else can get another shot in, that would be nice, but wow, I am surprised this KV3 has lasted so long. So NusPojava was able to reload, was able to take him out for kill number 3. Really surprised no one else shot him. But he's advancing. He is exposing his lower glacis now, and the ST1 makes him pay. ST1 is angling his turret, but that doesn't matter. NusPojava is on higher ground, is able to shoot down into his roof. 5k damage, 3 kills, full health T30, and that shot again goes high. Maybe wasn't fully aimed, but the shot still goes high. So this T30 is advancing. NusPojava decides to finish off the ST1, and unfortunately shot goes low, hits the ST1's gun mantlet. Gun really is starting to let him down. So he's focused on this T30. Gets a nice shot in. So in the meantime, his team have won the south. Just 3 enemy tanks left, and they are all up here. So NusPojava gets a lovely shot in. Another nice high roll, 502 damage. That takes him up to 6k damage. ST1 bounces. IS bounces. T30 doesn't bounce. 744 damage. But NusPojava is continually focusing on the tanks that are most dangerous. He's down to 88 hit points. ST1 puts another shot in, and NusPojava bounces on his angled turret. Thankfully, someone else finally takes out the ST1. So this T30 is still focused on him. Bounces. NusPojava finishes him for kill number 4, and someone else takes out the IS. So another really, really big game from NusPojava. It was an ace tanker. He picked up Spartan for bouncing a shot when he was on low health, high caliber, and a steel wall. Really, really big game. 1492 XP. As top tier, that's a nice XP total. 6,690 damage. Let's call it 6.7k damage and 4 kills. He fired 23, he hit 22, but he only managed to pen 17 because even though he was aiming at weak spots, the gun really didn't seem that accurate. He took 16 hits and bounced 12, taking potential damage of almost 4.6k. He spotted 2, damaged 7, destroyed 4, and did 1,483 assistance damage with 67 base defense points. He earned 46,000 credits for that with a premium account, 2,238 XP, again with some sort of bonus thrown in. Wasn't a ×2, but it was still a really, really good game, leaving him on 2,797 XP. So 2 really, really nice games sent in by NusPojava. Thank you very much for sending them in. It wasn't my plan to feature them both at the same time, but I was looking for a theme, and both the Chinese heavy tank replays happen to be yours. So once again, thanks for sending them in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching them, and I'll see you next time.